State Representative Jeffrey Elmore with your weekly session update for May 6th. Today is the National Day of Prayer. I hope that you've put forth a prayer today for our country, for our communities in both Wilkes and Alexander, and also for our state. The Bible says that we need to pray without ceasing. So we really need to be praying all the time. But today is a focus on that. Crossover is here. Crossover is next week. It's May 13th. And let me explain what crossover is. You have to have a bill move through the House and be sent over to the Senate, or the Senate has to move a bill over to the House by this date, or the bill is considered invalid or dead. So that date's pretty critical, and what happens is a lot of legislation gets moved during the days prior to that. We are moving legislation very quickly and many bills for the past couple of days here in the House because we're a little bit ahead of schedule on our bills. So I have placed hundreds of votes this week from subject matter ranging from road issues to constitutional issues to schools, all over the place. So we have placed hundreds of votes in the past couple of days and anticipate probably another 100 votes on Monday and Tuesday as we try to meet our deadline of May 13th. I want to tell you about a few of the bills because there's no way that I can tell you about everything that's happening, but some highlights that I think folks are interested in the district, and then I'll tell you about some that have crossed over that are mine. First, we passed House Bill 180, Overdose Awareness Day. And what this does, it designates the 31st of August of each year as Overdose Awareness Day. And I think this is very important with our area and our fight that we have had now for many years dealing with opioid addiction and also with meth and various illegal drugs. And at one time, I know Wilkes was ranked nationally on the number of overdose deaths that we have. I feel like that this is a good thing to have an awareness day so people are aware of the problem. We also passed HB 494. This is a Digital Interference Censorship Act. And what this would do is allow North Carolinians to file civil action if their social media posts are censored or their apps are removed from the marketplace. It has been a big problem with big tech. If you don't have a certain viewpoint, they will just basically ban you from the format or block you for days upon days. There are free speech issues with that, First Amendment rights issues, and this is to help address that through the courts. Something that we have worked on the entire time that I have been down in the legislature. I even filed a bill to do this about 8 years ago, and finally we're to the point that this is happening, is HB 398. This is the pistol permit repeal. I have always found that the pistol permit that you have to get from the Sheriff's Department in the state of North Carolina to be able to purchase a handgun, then you have to go to the store where you receive a criminal background check through the National Instant Criminal Background Check System. The NICS is what they call it. It was just duplication that is totally unnecessary. Finally, the sheriffs are on board on eliminating the pistol permit to where when you buy a handgun, you get the criminal background check at the store, just like you always have, and that will suffice for it. This pistol permit process was put in Jim Crow era. The goal of these laws were to basically make sure that African Americans, black community, did not have guns, and it is a antiquated law, and I'm glad that we're finally to the point that it is hopefully will be repealed as it moves through the process. It had a strong vote of 70 to 47, so that went over to the Senate. Couple of other bills here. HB 453. This is Human Life Non-Discrimination Act, No Eugenics. What this basically does, it prevents an abortion for the reason of race, sex, or for Down syndrome. And I hate that this type of bill even has to be brought forth, but with the condition of the world and as things that are happening all over the world, the Chinese had a limit on the number of children that families could have, and they saw an increased abortion rate in females. Even there is a northern European country that there have been articles written on that they have almost, quote, eradicated Down syndrome in their country. And when you actually look at what they're doing, the abortion rate for a baby that has Down syndrome in that country is over 99%. Basically what this bill says is we're not going to discriminate a baby at any point of its life, and that an abortion shouldn't be conducted just for those sole reasons. I feel like this is very much a value set of mine. The floor debate was long on this, but it has passed the House and it's moved to the Senate. Also, something else that I've co-sponsored is the state as a model employer for IDD. And basically what this does is it said that the state of North Carolina needs to make an effort to hire people with disabilities. We were just talking about Down syndrome. This could be a prime example of this, that we should make efforts to incorporate into state operations folks that have disabilities to where they can maximize their quality of life and be part of the working environment. I thought that was very exciting. Representative Bradford out of Mecklenburg County, I was happy to sponsor that with him. Some things that have made it over the crossover already that I filed that I'm pretty excited about and have moved. Teacher personal leave. We moved this over to the Senate, and what this would do would allow the teacher to be able to use their benefit that they have of personal leave days, which they get just a few each year, without being docked in pay. Currently, the way the procedure is if you take a personal leave day, you have to pay $50, so you get docked in pay. What this does is create an avenue that the teacher can cite a reason for their personal day, may it be a house closing or a funeral, whatever personal things that they are doing, they can cite a reason and not be docked in pay. So that's to where they can actually utilize their benefit. Also moved a bill through the House, and it's over in the Senate, called Remote Academics. We found with COVID that a widespread use of virtual learning is just not effective. But for some kids and for some parents, they found that this was an effective tool for their child. And many of our public school systems are trying to set up remote academies, or they already have a remote academy. Several have had some pre-COVID. Well, what should that look like statewide? So we have a guarantee of a uniform, free educational system. That's constitutional in our state. This helps put some parameters on it. Very broad, but it keeps it in a direction to where we don't have kids that could get lost in the system just solely because they're basically pushed into virtual learning. It makes it very clear that it needs to be a parent's choice, that they understand up front what it is, how it's formatted, how the grades will be taken, what the workload is. All the expectations of it is known up front. So we put some parameters on it to where they turn in their plans to the State Board of Education for approval. I was excited to see that, and I hope that gets some legs, because we have some very good programs that are happening, and then we have some that are not. And without some sort of definition, I can't consciously think that a kid could be out there not getting what they need through the education for their education. Also, we moved a bill dealing with teacher licensure to create some flexibility for younger teachers that are having some problems passing the standardized test that they have to go through to get their license, and also broadening the spectrum for our retired educator hireback program by expanding that into principals and also school psychologists and a couple other high need areas. That's just kind of a 10,000 feet real quick viewpoint. Look forward to talking to you next week after crossover to tell you about more bills that may crossover. Thank you for tuning in to the weekly session update.